Welcome to the Sparkle Show. With us, we have Timmy, the Timmy Fresh brand. I love it because you do everything. You do bikes, you do t-shirts, you do hats. What don't you do?
Not enough.
But I love this. Okay, so I first noticed you. I noticed you riding by. And so it's like funny when someone says, "Hey, I noticed you riding by." I really noticed you riding by because
Pulaski in Old Town.
Yes, because first of all, it wasn't just you, it was a flock. It's like you have a tribe. Everybody was like in your light up bikes. And I've never seen anything like I've never seen like light up bicycles. And it wasn't just for Christmas, it's before Christmas. And it's like all year round.
We do bike rides almost every week. But it's something we do to get everybody out, exercise, get the families out. And we constantly are riding around Clovis on the bike trails, staying safe. But
well, you're like the epitome of staying safe because I can see you from a mile away. You're all lit up.
Yeah.
And that's what I haven't. Is that like a new thing or is that just something you started? Because I haven't noticed a lot of people like that riding bikes.
Most people are not used to seeing that, but it's pretty popular if you go to other cities. There's a lot of bike rides throughout other cities. If you have a bike and travel out of town, you'll notice there's big.
So it's trendy.
There's big groups of people doing that.
They're bringing some trendiness to the Central Valley.
So Fresno and Clovis is real big on bike riding. The lights is really big because it's really cool at nighttime. So. Well,
yeah, I mean, I love it because, like I said, I'm always worried about. Sometimes I barely see someone until they're like right there, and I'm like, oh, there's a biker. So
I just see us a mile away. We got lights all over the bikes, front and back. It's something everybody likes. It's really cool. It stands out, but it just makes your bike look really neat too.
And you custom build these bikes?
Yes.
When did you get into that? Was it just like a hobby? Like,
I got into it about I've always rode a bike since just being a little kid, but as far as the business side, I started the business about 5.5 years ago. And I was always riding with the group of people, going on the bike rides, and then just decided to start a business. The whole reason of why I started the whole Timmy Fresh brand, I had my dad in the hospital for about a month and a half. And before he had passed away, I promised him, being the older sibling in the family, I basically had a one-on-one chat with him. A lot of people didn't know about until I kind of told my family, but I promised him I was going to start a business and have something to involve the family, but something to grow into a business and have everyone involved, but then also support the family, but then also support charities, foundations, just do more than just have.
This is your legacy, kind of like for the family.
And it's something, I'm not going to stop doing it until I get to a point where I want to be. So ultimately, I want to have all this type of stuff you see behind us on TV shows.
But okay, I get that. You like riding.
The very end game, but I like riding all of them.
You like riding bikes. You wanted to start a business, but you actually build them and you go to LA and you find bikes and then you custom make it. You build these parts. How did you get into that? That's like the hard part.
Well, that's been going on when I started, but when the whole COVID-19 situation started, everybody was looking for bikes. So I was constantly having to contact my suppliers and bring in trailer full loads of bikes. So it hasn't stopped. It's been pretty busy.
But you build everything. I mean, you have to be really good. First of all, it's like a safety. You can't just like go and it's like doing cars. You have to know what you're doing. How did you get into that part? I mean, you started riding bikes, you just started fixing your own, and then it kind of led like, I want to put that on there. How did it get, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I just kind of just growing up, being around bikes all the time, you're always taking things apart, messing with them, but just the last 5-6 years I've been riding a lot more, but everybody always wants something added to the bike, or can you fix something? And it just turned into, it was just the right thing to do. Like, it was something we're always doing anyways. My brother rides BMX. We have plenty of tools to work on bikes, so it was just like right there.
But you do everything. You're even the painting, the chrome, the everything. How do you get into all? I'm sure there was a lot of trial and error where you try to put labels, do some stuff, and it wasn't. Yeah, the weather messed it up. How did you get it to where everything's just so nice and perfect? It stays in pristine condition.
It's really just taking something and just take the idea mess with it, and the concept and designs usually don't work out the first time, but that's kind of the trial and error.
Right. So how is that? How is that process?
It's a lot of prototyping. There's a lot of companies and shops that help me out with what they do, their services. So
Nice.
I'll go through a lot of them as far as like building the custom seats that we have with my name on the back. But I have a lot of people involved as far as like a team of people that help me out. But it's a lot of money invested to try to build something that nobody's doing, or make it look a lot better, or put some different designs or ideas into it, make a theme bike.
Because you said you could do anything. Like you could do the New York Yankee bike, or like.
Yeah, so I did. I've done a few bikes. When I first got started, I got in contact with a friend that lives in New Orleans. His high school buddy is a coach for New Orleans Saints. So they got me in touch with Drew Brees and Steve Gleason Foundation, built a bike for each of their charities.
So cool.
And then it just rolled into doing a bike for Aaron Judge from the Yankees for their dinner foundation.
That didn't happen because
that bike was built to sell to raise money for their foundation. And then from that point, it turned into the Fresno State football program for the athletics.
I love your Fresno State bike. That is so cool.
And they're really cool because it's not just putting a bike together, like it's the whole theme. So it's making it look and feel it belongs there, as far as the colors, the ideas put into the bike. It's not just grabbing some parts and just bolt them on. It's a little bit more, but I have a lot of friends that are really good at what they do, and then they'll help me out with my idea or design, and we just kind of like brainstorm and figure it out, basically.
Well, how does it feel growing up in the Central Valley, knowing about Fresno State? I don't know if someone in your family probably went to Fresno State, and then now you're like making a part of what's going to be.
I like it a lot because I'm a big time sports fan of like everything. So I love going to the games. I've always gone to the games. My dad got me into sports at a young age, so I've played sports. I've been around it. So now being involved, building bikes for a university or a foundation or a certain person to raise money, I like it personally because I get to be more involved around the stuff I like to go do. So going to the Fresno State games, it's just really cool seeing something that they're now using to raise money.
Right. It's like it's kind of like making history for them. And that's going to be worth something.
Yeah, and they've auctioned one. The first one went for $7,500. The second one that I still have, once they decide what to do with it, that'll get auctioned as well. But all that money goes to the football program. So
you don't even get paid for that?
I get paid for it. The bikes are paid for, but then they turn around and auction the bikes.
Perfect.
And then the money that they make, those proceeds turn around and go to the football program.
So how long did it take to do that? Can you tell us a little bit about how long it took to do that? And what did it start with? Did you get it just like that? How many different parts did you have to get to make that?
It basically started out with me on a drawing table just drawing out the frame, taking that measurement and taking it to a friend's house and have him piece it together, cut the metal, and basically put my idea into a frame. We had to go through multiple frames to get it all set up, and then I turned and did a jig table, which is a fixture that you put the metal pieces onto, so all the measurements are the same, and then we just did multiple frames, and then I took those to build multiple bikes. So it's a lot of work.
No, I'm thinking, and how long did it take? So when you eventually got this, was it like 6 months?
That one took probably about a little over 2 months.
Okay.
I built 2 of the bikes for Fresno State in about 2 to 3 months. So I had probably, it was about 2 or 3 months, I would say. But normally this type of bike, because there's so much detail in it, and the amount of people I got to go through to handle their part, it's usually about 2 to 3 months. So they're not a real quick turnaround, and there's a lot of patience involved.
I can only imagine.
Because if anything goes wrong, you have to start over and fix it.
From square one.
I want everything to be perfect. So
right, that's your brand.
If I don't feel something is correct or done the right way, I'll just redo it. So, but it it's really cool when they're done because I can vision that before it's finished, but when it's finally coming together and I can put the final piece, it's really neat seeing it like completely done. People get to finally see it, and the comments and what people think about it, if they're a fan of that team or they've been to Fresno State. It's really cool seeing their expressions because you just get a lot of different feedback.
I bet. So what about viewers right now? If they have an idea in their head and they're like, make us a Dodger bike or a Trump bike, how can you do that? And how long would you need them? Like if someone's like, well, you have a birthday, how much notice should they give you for something really detailed?
Something like that probably, well, it really depends on the details because just because they have an idea that sounds crazy doesn't mean we can't do it. There's been some ideas that I thought there was no way of making it possible, but it did happen.
So give us an example.
Well, like the bike for Aaron Judge from the Yankees, that bike I basically took a baseball jersey and had it cut up at a upholstery shop. We wrapped the jersey actually onto the bike on a piece of panel, but then we actually had their foundation logo embroidered into the jersey, and then that was wrapped around onto the bike. So the bike actually has a physical Yankees jersey pieced onto the bike, which I haven't seen a bike like that, but it's just crazy little ideas like that. You just got to think out of the box.
That's actually really cool because some people might have some memorabilia that they got signed. If they have a jersey that got signed by somebody, maybe they would want to do something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's cut up. The
right.
value's not there no more, but the idea of seeing it, the handlebars for the bike were made out of aluminum baseball bats. So we actually cut up physical baseball bats, made the handlebars, and then we put real baseball bat grip actually onto the handlebars. So the handlebar is actually a baseball bat with the baseball grip.
I absolutely love this. This is so
it's a lot of details where you might not notice that right off the bat, but then when they explain what's on there, then it's like, well, that's a lot of work.
They might not notice it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Aha, play on words.
But it stands out and it's different.
I love it. It's kind of like Pimp My Ride. It's Pimp My Bike.
Yeah,
you can do whatever people want.
Concept of the theme of the bike is baseball. So I wanted to incorporate a baseball jersey, baseball bat.
That's so smart.
Aaron Judge, his last name was Judge, so they call him the Judge. So we took a gavel, like a judge gavel. I had that painted blue. We mounted that onto the actual platform of the bike. Just a lot of ideas that incorporated him, the Yankees,
and that was auctioned off.
And that was auctioned off.
Are you doing something again? Because you told me that. What were you saying about how there was COVID happened, so you couldn't get another bike? Was that the one, or there's a different one?
That one was auctioned in beginning of 2019.
Okay.
We were going to follow up and do another bike for the beginning of 2020.
That's the one
in New York. But when the COVID stuff was going on, it pretty much canceled everything.
Okay, so what happens? So when you get a bike, I know you get some of your parts from LA here, there, you're driving around, you're doing it yourself, you're loading it into a trailer, making. So when you want to take it to New York, how are you shipping it to make sure it doesn't get ruined? Well, your precious baby.
That's kind of the tricky thing is I have to completely take the whole bike apart, box it up, and ship it. It would have been shipped to probably the hotel I'd be staying at. And then I would physically have to bring all my bike tools, have that shipped.
That's the only way to do it? You can't just ship that tomorrow?
Well, you can't really just load it up onto a trailer unless you drive it out there. So
that's the only way to do it.
I would have felt more comfortable taking it apart and piece it together and build it at the hotel.
But you can't. What if someone from like Europe wants to buy one? Can you package it to where
I can package it how you normally buy a bicycle in the box from the store. How they just take off the front wheel. I could package it that way.
I know you felt comfortable doing it, and that was a charity thing, so it's a little bit different, but maybe like if you had to.
Yeah, if I had to, I could piece off what parts need to be taken off in order to ship it.
And just tell them this is, you put the handles.
Yeah, or it's something, it's easier, the pedals and the seat and the front wheel comes off. And
okay, so for the most part.
I can ship it cross country, cross the state. So that's not a problem. in my case, for me being out there, I would have taken it in pieces.
I understand, and that was a little bit different. That was like a showpiece for that moment. So
yeah. So that one would have been really cool, but in the future when things are better or go to normal, then hopefully that comes back up and we'll do a bike.
And that just shows how good you are. I mean, obviously they were super impressed to want you back to do another.
Yeah, his mom, Patty's like the most awesome person. Like she's exactly, if you meet Aaron, he's a really nice guy. His mom is, the whole family's just really nice. Like what they do for kids, the money that they raise through the it's the All Rise Foundation. All the money goes towards helping the youth, basically. So what she does is just like, it's really awesome because she's approachable, but she's just really a good person. The whole family's a really good people. So for what they're doing with the charity, it's for me to be able to help out. It's like I just love it because I'm a baseball fan too. So being around that, getting to build bikes for people like Aaron or just anyone in general, it just makes it. I don't know. I just feel good being involved with all that.
All of this, no, I mean, this is like you said, you hit it when you said, I wanted to create something that would be like a family brand, family legacy, make some money, and also help charities. I mean, that was so perfect.
And I like helping the youth and kids. My dad always coached sports, coached me in all my sports. He constantly always helped people. He always bought equipment for a kid that couldn't afford baseball gloves or cleats.
So sweet.
And stuff like that. I'm like that. So
that is so
helping
nice.
The foundations and charities, it's just another way of helping more people out there. So I like it a lot. I mean, I get to do what I love, ride bikes, build them, meet people, help people that, need it. And it's just kind of full circle. The whole thing is just really good and positive. So
how did you get involved in the first place with some of these like higher profile people? Like, did you reach out to them?
Luckily, I just have a lot of good friends or friends that have a friend that knew somebody.
You're a good networker.
Good networking, a lot of contacts, and people are like, hey, you need to get a hold of this person. I got their phone number, and then the ball just starts rolling.
So are you going to do one for the Giants eventually? I see your tattoo. Yeah. Come on.
I've done a Giants bike, but for a customer, but not for the Giants directly.
You're committed. You got the tat. We're
I do have the tattoo. But I would love to one day make a bike for the Giants too. I'm sure they got multiple charities and foundations. So do the players. But if any player ever reached out to me, I would be on board to help out. So
we talked about you have some really nice bikes, custom built, everything. What about somebody like me that just wants a really cheap, if I'm broke, I don't really even know how to ride a bike, whatever, I just want the cheapest, basic, trial one that's safe.
Just something.
Yeah, so what would you say for somebody, like that? Do you have stuff on stock that we could buy, or you could just go and get something?
I usually have inventory of like women's beach cruisers. Bikes right now are really hard to get.
I know.
I usually have inventory, but once it's gone, it's like that for everybody right now. So it's kind of hit and miss. But as far as like customers that want to come in and purchase a bike, BMX bikes are really hard to get right now. I usually have them. If I have them, they're gone pretty quick. But women's beach cruiser bikes are real popular. It's something that you would like yourself. Mm-hmm. And then we'll add accessories to them.
So how much does a typical bike go for? Someone who really wants to be balling on a budget, and they don't really know if they like bikes. I mean, I don't really ride bikes. So what if they don't really know if they want to like it, and they really just want the cheapest? What was the starting price?
Probably around $220 to $250.
And that's right now during a very hard time to get bikes.
Yeah, and right now I'm actually out, so I wouldn't even be able to give you a bike if I wanted to.
So
but normally they're between $250 to up to $350 for a basic beach cruiser bike, and then I always have all the accessories, lights, anything you want to add to it on top of that. I always have those parts.
So how much is it to light up the whole bikes, like I was seeing in Clovis, like everyone that's riding around with their bikes, and it's completely the wheel, everything?
Yeah, so usually we add it's like an LED strip that's got lights on it. It mounts to the center hub on the bike on front and back of the wheels, but those are like $25.
Oh, really? So if someone's watching that wants
really
to bring
cheap.
their bike in and want you to they just want to pimp
Yeah, someone
their
has a
ride.
bicycle and they're like, hey, Tim, can you put wheel lights on my bike? Those are $25 for a
Oh,
set.
okay.
Multiple colors. They could drop it off and pick it up the next day.
Do you have any blinking ones?
Do you have blinking ones?
Were there blinking ones? It's hard to know with the wheel because it was turning. I didn't know if I saw a blinking one or not.
Yeah, the lights that we have will stay on permanently, or they'll also pulse and blink. So, but they're really bright. So, like how you always see us riding down Clovis, they stand out really well. So for traffic, it's real easy to see us when you're riding around. When you're in a big group, it's really cool because you just see this big line of people riding bikes, having fun. We usually have a trailer with a boom box pulling music.
I saw that. I love it. That's so fun.
We kind of bring like the whole thing out. So.
Well, I think it's very good right now. You've brought a lot of cheer to people that just because it makes you happy. You're like, what's that? It's something fun that we can be happy about right now.
A lot of people always tell me like, I'm glad that you do this because it makes me get out of the house and have something to do, and I feel normal because like, I'm at home, I'm depressed, like I'm not doing nothing. But I like that you guys have this going on to go riding because I enjoy it. It's the only thing really to, I guess, have fun doing like
for sure.
Right now. So, but it's really cool. I mean, I like it. It's just everything's worked out really well and it keeps growing. So,
how did we get these cool little shirts that I'm wearing? I love it. I love the tee.
So I do have a website, but hopefully launching by probably the 1st of February.
Where can we follow you right now? Just on Instagram and
right now on Instagram, like
and
Timmy Fresh Brand.
Timmy Fresh Brand, okay.
Facebook, Twitter. Do have a YouTube channel, which don't have much content on it yet.
What do you put on it? Just when you make a bike, or like
usually if I'm at any of the dinners or events, or if we're filming a build, we go out and photo shoot for the build. We'll post that up on the YouTube channel.
So where'd you go with Timmy Fresh? Is that a nickname that they kind of stuck? And
I used to always get called Timmy from friends and girls, just being a young kid, so they would call me Timmy. I still get called Timmy all the time. So that's kind of like where I came up with part of the name of the business.
What's the Fresh? It was like
the
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Just something cool. It just sounds fresh. It's something. I just kind of made up something and went with it, and nobody really cared for it at the beginning. But
really,
brands don't really mean anything until everybody's used to it, and now everyone's wearing a shirt. Now it's cool.
So people can DM you if they want to get one of these shirts.
Oh yeah.
How much do they run for in the hats?
The shirts will sell for $25. Hats sell for around $25 to $30.
And do you make them because you? So what does your brother own? Like a print shop as well? What if your brother does something?
My brother JJ does window tinting.
Window tinting. So does he make a lot of this stuff?
I have multiple people I go through for either the screen printing or the embroidery in town and out of town.
And did he make these lovely tints right here?
The vinyl wrap actually was done with Method Media in Fresno with Jeremy.
Oh,
Jeremy.
nice. Okay. So I love that.
So they did all the perforated vinyl wrap for us. And then the artwork was done by a friend that does artwork for me. And then we put some of the companies we do business with in the bottom.
Lizard Skins. What's the Lizard Skins?
Lizard Skin is a company that makes my handlebar grips. So they actually
did they do the bat ones that you did, the baseball bat ones too?
No, those were made by a friend of mine, Nick Slokian helped me out on that, and I had one other friend help out. But the Lizard Skins is handlebar grips that I have with my T-Fresh logo engraved into it, and that company makes my own handlebar grips.
Nice.
So I actually have them packaged for sale inside the shop area, and they can basically purchase handlebars that have my T-Fresh logo on the grip of the handlebar.
So we have other bike shops in the Central Valley. What makes you unique? What makes you special? What do you offer that they don't?
Probably mostly the stretch bikes. A lot of the shops in town deal heavily with the BMX, the mountain biking, the cycling.
Yeah, that's what I usually notice of yours is that the ones that are lit up on the little toe.
Yeah, I try to stick with it. the stretch bikes are real popular because people like to customize them and fix them up. You can tear them apart, or you can just add some accessories. But
is it easier to do? I mean, is it like easier to navigate, or not necessarily?
It's about the same as a normal bike, but to me, it's more comfortable because you're kind of leaning back a little bit more. You're not just kind of hovering on top of the bike. Yeah, you're kind of more sitting back, and you get to kind of be more comfortable.
Almost like on a motorcycle.
Looks more cool. There's a lot of ways of making the handlebars different heights if you want to make them really tall, really short. But it's just a customization. People like to take the bike apart and customize it.
Tell us about some of the bikes that you have, like this one over here.
So this one is a Golden State Warriors theme bike. This was built for a customer in town, Ollie from Card City. So he's got multiple locations throughout California, but he's a big time Golden State Warrior fan. He saw one of the bikes I had done for another customer, and we went ahead and did full airbrushing on the wheels by Julio's Pinstriping here in Fresno. So the wheels actually have like a ghost flame smoke on it. The floorboard that the bike actually sits on is a 6-foot board vinyl wrapped by Method Media in Fresno. And basically it's the basketball court of the arena with the bike sitting on it. The seat was custom made with basketball material. So it's actually made out of a basketball vinyl.
Wow.
So all that incorporates the theme of basketball. And the customer wanted something to fit the theme of the Warriors bike.
What about warranty? So let's say I got a bike and everything. What's your warranty situation like?
I don't have anything set in stone, so it's really how long they've had the bike for.
But if you've made it, are you always guaranteed coming and bring it back?
If it's something that I made, then I stand behind it. When I buy bikes from a manufacturer, then those already have a warranty standing with it. So you just contact those companies. But if it's something I'm making myself, without buying a bike out of the box, if I'm making it from scratch, then it's full warranty from myself.
Okay.
So.
And Barbecue Rob, his bike's in there. Tell us about that one.
So Rob here in Fresno has a barbecue restaurant.
Hi, Barbecue Rob.
So he saw some of the bikes, and he wanted to do a bike for his restaurant.
He would.
So
did you do deliveries on it?
Nobody should.
Yes, you should.
He should get a little trailer made for it.
It'll be good exercise. Rob, you've been eating too much of that barbecue. You gotta get on that bike.
Deliver barbecue sandwiches or something. So, but yeah, he approached me and he saw one of the other bikes. Actually, I had an Oakland Raider bike for a cousin of mine.
Oh, I bet Rob was all over that.
He saw that one, he flipped, and he's like, I gotta get one of those, but I want something with my name on it. So we did a stretch cruiser for him. It's got his name embroidered onto the seat, painted onto the side of the frame. But that's his own personal bike for the business.
Right.
And then once he opens up his restaurant, he's got 2 locations. Once that second location opens up, we're going to build a bike to sit inside the restaurant. So,
that's so cool. Well, thank you so much for allowing us in here to see all this. This is really cool. And everybody contact DM Timmy Fresh. Do you have a number you want people to call you?
Yeah, I mean, my number is 559-291-2266.
Don't be weird. Only call him if you want.
But yeah, social media is the easiest way. Instagram is just Timmy Fresh Brand. I have Facebook, Twitter. The handle's the same. So if you just Timmy Fresh Brand, all one word, it's real easy to find me. So, but I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show, and look forward to seeing you ride one of our bikes.
Yes, thank you.
And Scamp too.
Scamp, I love it. Oh my gosh. Explain Scamp to like first time viewing in. We've never had a dog on the show.
Well, you've got a celebrity. I mean, you've got
this is like going all the way. I've had snakes. This is the first time I've had a dog and a celebrity nonetheless.
Okay. He may not look like most dogs, but he's definitely got it going on. He's got the it factor.
So Scamp, oh my gosh. Okay, tell us why he's a celebrity.
Well, Scamp is the current champ and reigning world's ugliest dog contest. But we say that tongue in cheek because we don't believe he's ugly. These are unique dogs that compete for this contest. They come from all over the world, and the little local boy won the contest in Petaluma. And so
is this an international competition?
It's an international competition. We've had international winners. And this year, the little homie here, took the trophy. And we're so proud. He's so proud.
This is not your first rodeo, though.
No, it is a family tradition, which I whispered in his ear when I swiped right to adopt him. I fell in love.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, yeah.
That's how it is? It's like the dating world, getting a dog?
Yes, yeah. Somebody sent me his link, his photo, and I swiped right, and I was in love. So I drove.
Who would have guessed? I never knew so much went into all of this. Oh, my.
Yeah, and so, you know, Scamp's come a long way, baby. He was found on the streets in Compton. He's from the hood. He's straight up out of the hood. He's a hood.
He's a hood rat.
He's a hood rat, and that's why I named him Scamp the Tramp, because he was a hobo. He was a tramp, and that was his name. Until he became a celebrity, then we had to modify it to Scamp the Champ. So he's Scamp the Champ now. So yeah.
How do you get into this? I know you've been doing this for a while. It's a family tradition, but how people that are watching, how do you just like, oh, I want to adopt dogs and train them to win these competitions? Like, how do you do it?
You can't train a dog to win this competition. It is purely on audience participation. It's the wow factors when they walk the red carpet at the contest, and the judges' first impression when they see them walking on stage. So they go off first impression like, whoa. So the dog could have, you know, some very kind of unique attributes, like no teeth like Scamp, tongue hanging out.
So you're kind of like the agent. You know how to find the talent.
They find me. I have not looked for my 3 winners. In fact, my first winner was a 4-pound version of Scamp. And my friend goes, oh my God, Yvonne, you adopted that? You ought to put that dog in the ugly dog contest. And I was insulted. I was not happy about that comment. I said, okay, I'll take that bet. And you're going to buy us both dinner when she loses. Well, she won. And she defended her title for 6 years. And she wasn't exactly a miniature version of this. She had tongue, black, gray, wild hair all over the place, walked with a giddy up. She was so popular that Jay Leno put her on The Tonight Show. And she just broke up the audience. You should see the video of that. Jay laughed so hard, he forgot the questions he wanted to ask me and was talking. Kevin Eubanks and the band were cracking up. The audience was cracking up. And later,
you guys stumped Jay Leno. That's totally awesome.
Anna stumped Jay Leno. In fact, later the director said the control room was laughing, and they don't laugh at anything, including Robin Williams. He goes, you had the control room in hysterics. So Nana was, you know, famous celebrity. Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead started a new band called the Rat Dog, and he put Nana on the cover of his CD. You could find that CD today. Yeah, he put 4 photos in there. So that's what started.
I love this.
But this little bet, my friend insulted me. Take that dog to ugly dog contest. She's not ugly. She's cute. And I found her at a shelter by accident. Wasn't even looking. And then years later, after Nana was gone, I was in San Francisco, and I stopped by a shelter to visit a friend of mine that I just happened to run into one day, and he said, come by and see me. And there was Nana's twin, Munchkin. Munchkin was the twin of this one, too. And I looked at her, and I said, oh, my God, that's my dog, the little scruffy thing. Took her home, put her in the contest. She won. Oh, my goodness. She won. She was on Animal Planet. Oh, she was a big celebrity. And then Scamp came along a couple of years ago, and so he took 3rd place his first time out. 2nd year, he didn't place, but he got a little bit part in a movie that went to Sundance.
What movie was that?
It was called The Life of Veronica Mars. Yes, The Life of.
Wait, I love that movie. I gotta go back and watch it.
It was a short. It was a short movie, not a long full feature film. And it's Sundance, yeah. It was the something of Veronica Mars.
Well, I watched it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Veronica Mars, so I've seen everything, but I haven't seen a short film. I saw the feature film.
Yeah, this was a shorty. And
I need to go back and see what that is, because I'm a fan of Veronica Mars and a fan of Scamp. So.
Oh, yeah. And his cue was he just had to walk into the scene, hit his mark, and eat food from a cop.
Did he deliver?
He could do that. He nailed it.
He did it. He nailed it?
Nailed it.
Scamp, you nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. And so
okay, so how many years have you been in this business of?
Well, I started with Nana. Her first year was in 1996. Like I said, on a dare, on a bet. And she won. Defended her title for 6 years. It was
a lot of work goes into this too.
Not really. You just wash them and show up, you know.
But don't you have to travel? Isn't there like a lot of travel involved?
Right, there is a little bit of travel. Scamp had some travel. Like we had to go to San Francisco because Croatian TV came to the United States and they were filming Unique Pets. So we did a film bit in San Francisco. And then the big deal was the top 10 dogs in the United States. Film crew came out. Scamp was voted number 5 top dog in the United States. His picture is hanging in the American Kennel Club Dog Museum in New York. A huge picture. His picture's there. And you can stream it, called Top 10 Dogs of New York. And it showed him doing all his volunteer work. I think that's why they voted for him. Because he's a community servant. He volunteers for the Humane Society of Sonoma County. He raises foster kittens. He's raised about 25 kittens. He personally takes over the kittens when they come here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he really does. I have a kitten room, and he goes in there, and he's their daddy, and he bathes them.
Where can we buy some Scamp swag? Can we buy a Scamp t-shirt? Is there some?
You know what? I do. I think I have one extra. I had his photo put on a t-shirt that Darlene wore when she was on stage with me, so I can get you one of those. I'll get you one of those.
Nice. Shout out to Darlene.
Shout out to Dardar. She had to go on stage with me because my hand was in a cast. I had to go to the Today Show with my hand in a cast.
How did that happen? Wait, is that?
It's not bad. Me and Darlene were riding bicycles. Once a year we ride a bicycle, and we both fell off our bicycles within an hour, and we both ended up in the emergency room. She had a knot, and I had a broken hand. We didn't run into each other. It just happened.
You crazy ladies.
Crazy ladies. Oh my
God. I love it though. I mean, this is what's fun and vibrant. I mean, does this ever get old? You're out for adventures. I mean, this is an adventure. This is pretty fun.
This is a lot of fun. We had a great time in New York. It was a beautiful June day in New York. We went to Central Park. Scamp was recognized by everybody in New York. You know, the doorman of the hotel would pick him up and
he's such a cutie pie.
To meet people. You know, we went to the Today Show, and they say, you know, don't bother the talent. Well, that's fine. I stayed in my dressing room, and Scamp was with me. But I had Seth MacFarlane come barging in my room. I want to meet Scamp. Natalie Portland. Russell Crowe. They all came in. We want to meet Scamp. We hear Scamp's here.
Oh my God.
So sweet. Everybody loves the dog.
And he has his own Instagram. I'm following Scamp.
Yeah, we're working on adding some more. Yeah, but he had to throw his ugly sweater on today. He did win a contest with this sweater last year. Homemade.
It's cute. I don't even think it's an ugly sweater.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
Okay, so are there monetary benefits to winning these contests? Like, what does he get?
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're all curious.
So when he won the contest, he won $2,500, which was really great. And he won a matching $2,500 for the Humane Society of Sonoma County, who we volunteer for.
How sweet.
So we went back to the shelter for all of our little furry friends at the shelter. And, you know, every time we did, we went on to Tell the Truth, which is hosted by Anthony Anderson. We filmed that this fall, and that aired. And so we had a nice $1,500 little purse from that. Plus, they put us up in a nice hotel and limo and food restaurants, really nice. So we had a good time there. I mean, it's like first class all the way. I'm just like the lady in black in the background. You know, it's all about him.
Alright, so I don't want to take the show away from Scamp, but who's this other little cutie?
Oh, this is my boy Elvis. Now, Elvis is bilingual. He's a rescue adopted from the shelter. He was rescued in Mexico. And while in the shelter, one of the volunteers taught him Italian. So he's bilingual. He understands Spanish and Italian, and I'm trying to teach him English. But he's a therapy dog too, like Scamp. He's a good boy.
He's so pretty.
Yeah, he loves the spotlight.
But what's he famous for? He doesn't seem ugly enough to be an ugly dog.
Well, you're kind of missing the whole shenanigans. He's got this dreadlocks that grow on his back. He's got dreadlocks that grow out his tail. It's weird. The body hair doesn't grow. It's the black and the gray. Someone said he looked like a gremlin. The judge called him a gremlin. Or
he kind of looks like Yoda.
Yoda. He looks like Yoda. Yeah. And when he won, we were given a complimentary DNA test because everybody liked to joke, well, what is Scamp? Well, I call him, he's the son of Keith Richards. He looks like Keith Richards. He just does. He kind of acts like him sometimes too. And
I love that.
that's
so
what we called him, the son of Keith Richards. And then we got the DNA test back results. Shocking. I still don't believe it. I think they mixed up his DNA. He is, get this, a poodle. This is a poodle. This is a poodle gone wrong. This is a poodle. I mean, and his hair is just crazy. He does not, we have poodle friends, and they're kind of embarrassed when Scamp goes,
I think that is hysterical.
It's so funny. Yeah, he's a poodle gone wrong. But he's very popular. He does a lot of comfort dog visits. Like we had all the firemen here this summer, and we were at base camp visiting the firemen from all over the state.
Scamp really is a tramp.
He is a tramp. He is a tramp, yeah. He likes firemen. He likes to sit in their trucks, like his mama.
What's his favorite thing to eat?
Pardon me?
What's his favorite food?
Oh, my God. It has to be cheese and broccoli stuffed chicken breast. That's his favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah,
so how old is our Scamp now?
Well, doesn't like to tell. You know, he's got that Hollywood thing where he, kind of lies about his birth year. He's admitting to be about 6. He's admitting to 6. That's all he'll say. But he's got no teeth.
So Elvis, what does Elvis do? Is Elvis also in shows?
No, Elvis is a social therapy dog like Scamp. So Scamp for the shelter raises foster kittens.
Okay.
He's a reading dog. He's a reading dog for first graders. When we were going to school every week, the first graders would practice reading to Scamp, and he would sit in their lap and look at the books. And he takes his paw and he likes to turn the page.
I love that.
It's so cute. It is so, so cute. And then he also goes, and Elvis does too, they go to the senior center, sit in laps for the seniors. You know, the seniors drop in. They don't have pets any longer. So I bring my whole village in, all 4 dogs. And they just sit on laps and give lots of love. And then he has his own kissing booth. He has a kissing booth that the shelter built for him. So whenever we do outreach events at wineries, we do a lot of winery events up here, and I bring the kissing booth and throw out the red carpet, and people come up to meet Scamp and get kisses. And he promotes shelter adoptions, so they donate.
Do people send him presents?
No, he raises money. I have a donation box by the kissing booth.
That's perfect.
That's his presents. People will drop money in the donation box that goes back to the shelter. So he's raised quite a bit of money just by looking like.
And Yvonne, you do a lot of charity work yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
All day long. Tell us a little bit about your charity work.
Well, every year I run Wrap for Paws, and it's for the shelter. And so I have about 50 volunteers, and we are wrapping in Barnes & Noble, 2 Copperfield bookstores, and a gift wrap store in a mall. And so we wrap for tips. We do it the whole month of December. We just wrap for tips. We're decked out. We bring our dogs in. We promote what's going on at the shelter. And so we average about $8,000 in 3 weeks in wrapping tips.
Wow.
Darn, that's a lot of wrapping, but it's so much fun. I love it. My joy is bringing up, because I'm responsible for picking up all the donation boxes and getting them to the safe at the shelter and filling out the deposit slip. And so far I've done it 6 years in a row, and I think I've raised almost $30,000 just in wrapping.
That is so rewarding. That's amazing.
So rewarding. I love it. It makes me so happy. So right now we couldn't do Wrap for Paws this year, so I've been out with all the restaurants that are still open and putting our donation boxes at their restaurants, and they're only too happy to have them. So I'm still working with donation boxes this month. So far I've placed about a dozen out in the community for the restaurants that are still open. And that's the fun part. I love bringing money into the shelter.
I bet. Wow. So these contests go on, it's annual, it's once a year? How many times?
Right. The Ugly Dog Contest, like I said, started 25 years ago. And, it was a little thing. Like when Nana won the first year, the trophy was about yay big, and it was $25. And there was a lot of media coverage, local. But now, oh my God, the trophy is bigger than me, and it's, $1,500, and the media from around the world. Like we were interviewed by TV Germany, TV Japan, Croatia TV, Australia. We did a lot of interviews in Australia. And if it hadn't been for COVID, we had trips planned out of state. Scamp was due to do some appearances. And because there was the contest is held every June at the Sonoma Marin Fair. And because there was no fair this year, Scamp is the reigning champion 2 years in a row.
I love that.
He's holding his title, and he's going to go back next year to defend his title.
So there's that contest. Is there other competitions that you put them in, or is it really primarily that one?
It's that one, because now it is truly worldwide. I mean, you get so much. We were on ESPN and CNN, and it's everywhere. So that's the only contest. I heard that there's one in England, and I was debating about going to that one, but then COVID happened, so we couldn't travel. But we might go to the England one, but it's not trademarked. There's only one world contest, and that's right here. There's just one, and I got a family tradition, 3 winners. I'll send you the book. There's the book that the organizer wrote covering all the dogs that have won over the years. I'll send you the book because my other 2 dogs were in it. It was released before I had Scamp. So now,
how many dogs all together have won a competition? All of your dogs. How many dogs that you've owned have won? 3?
3, and that's never happened. You might have no. In fact, there's been very few dogs that have ever won. No, Nana is the only one that won multiple times. Every year there's a new winner. And Nana took the title for 6 years in a row. And nobody's done that since then, or even won twice. Nobody's won twice. So
do they know they're special? I mean, because it seems like they get along with all the other dogs, but they kind of know they're special, don't they?
Yeah, they know. And all these dogs, it's a real, it's like a reunion every year because the same people come back to back. And they keep coming because they want to win. They come from all over the United States, Florida, Denver, Midwest, and it's a reunion for us every year. And we really do love and support each other, and we love to hear the stories about them adopting a dog that nobody else wanted.
I love that.
I know.
That's very cool.
We're kind of a special group. We think our dogs are beautiful, but boy, when the red carpet comes out and the spotlight's on, it's every dog for himself. We get very competitive.
So do you take him, like, before COVID, were you taking him, like, to all the restaurants and people would give it, did you ever get, like, special treatment or, like, comped meals because you had Scamp with you?
Well, not really restaurants, but he gets invited to a lot of things. Like when the fire department does special events, they're doing fundraisers, or the police departments.
Oh, okay.
Doing fundraisers and a lot of community events.
Who needs a Dalmatian? He's going to be the official new firefighter.
Yeah, he's the official new fire dog, but the police departments really love him. And I come out and I set up his kissing booth, and he's there with all the policemen and all the firemen. And yeah, he gets invited to a lot of gigs.
Why is there so much coverage in New York? And he has a special photo there. And is like, why? What's with the big New York?
Well, yeah, I didn't even know that existed. In fact, when they came out, the crew came out and filmed me for an entire day. Scamp in the kissing booth at the shelter, Scamp reading with the kids and visiting the seniors. I knew that they were doing 10 dogs in the United States. And so when they aired, I had a big watch party here. And so the hosts were at this big New York dog museum. It's very nice. And so they said, we're counting down the top 10 dogs in the United States. And for each dog they announced, there was this photo. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was shocked. I go, my dog's hanging in a museum in New York. I have got to get there. I have got to take Scamp there. I'm going to take him to New York. When we were on the Today Show, you know, they go, well, what are you and Scamp going to do now? When I was talking to the talent, I said, well, we're going to Disneyland, of course.
So Scamp's been everywhere.
Disneyland when they win the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to take him. Yeah, take him down to California Disneyland.
Oh my.
Yeah.
How many places have you guys traveled together?
Let's see. Well, let's see. There's been New York. We've been down to Southern California, to Hollywood. We couldn't, you know, there were like 5 trips we couldn't make this year, you know, to Arizona. Even the Australian folks thought it would be nice if he could come down for a visit. But so I don't know. So a lot of it got canceled that we had scheduled.
And a lot of these trips are comped?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Flights, hotels, room service. I ordered him room service with the little silver dome, the tray, and he eats on the bed, of course. Oh, yeah. He lives like he's the star. I'm just the chauffeur.
How exciting. What an exciting journey you have. This is really cool. Are you going to write a book yourself about your 3 dogs that have won?
Yes. I'm in the process of trying to write something how I got started in this with me. Who knew that these little scruffy little dogs that nobody else wanted. I just love them because they're cute. But, you know, so it's all started with somebody insulted me about my dog's looks, and look at us now.
Well, thank God they did. Or else we
Thank
wouldn't have
God she did, yeah. She said, you should give me some of your royalties. I'm the one that started you on this path.
So do you get asked to be in more movies? You said he did that one film festival for the Sundance. I'd imagine you'd get blown up a lot about stuff like this. Are there other opportunities?
We have joined a Pets on Q, and they specialize in dogs who get product placement ads and whatnot.
Right.
So we've just started on that. So I got to build up his
resume.
Yeah, I got to build up his profile. In fact, I'll be working on that the day after Christmas.
You need to make his reel too.
Yeah. He's pretty darn cute, and he snorts like a pig. I don't know why. When he talks to you, he goes, you know, he's got.
Is he a barker?
No, no. He's the quiet one.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, no, this is not a barker. Because I
Does he sleep with you? What with the dogs? Do they sleep with you, or do they have their own beds?
Oh no, they have pet steps going up to my bed, and so
I love that.
When they hear the TV go off, they all go running up the pet steps, grab their spot. 4 dogs, 2 cats. While I brush my teeth, and then I try to, you know, get in there somewhere on the edge. I'm laying there.
You're even the sidekick in your own bed.
Oh God, they are the king of the bed. He's a good boy.
So where can we follow? Okay, so there's a Instagram. What's his Instagram called again?
Scamp the Champ, World's Ugliest Dog, and then of course on Facebook, same thing, Scamp the Champ.
And then does he have a Twitter?
I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm going to. I've got a 10-year-old who's willing to teach me.
And so we can follow them wherever. I mean, do you constantly update on what's going on? So if he does get cast on a product placement, you'll post that, right? So we can keep up with what he's doing.
I will. And I'm going to send you a paw graph book of our other winners. You got to.
I love that. I get
the
a
whole
paw print
history
dog.
of all the dogs. It's pretty darn funny. It's funny.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, this is
you.
the first time we've ever had a dog and a celebrity at that.
And isn't he just precious? Is he just not precious?
He is. I'm gonna start calling him Baby Yoda Dog.
Baby Yoda dog. Just can't call him a poodle. Thank you, Sparkle. We love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my little twin sister. Thank you. Mwah. Kisses. Kisses from Scamp.